Good evening. It is Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. My name is Jacob,
And I'm Danielle.
and we are the Proteus Podcast. Ideas in all shapes and forms.
How you doing?
I'm alright. I tried to sever my thumb, but I missed, so I might. We're all good.
Dude,
Most of my thumb is
Just
okay.
stop. Our ones of listeners all just cringed.
I basically just jabbed my thumb with a handsaw.
Oh, come on. I said stop. No, I'm cringing. No, I'm like, look.
Ever punch yourself with a sawing implement?
No.
I can't recommend it.
No. No, that's terrible.
Yeah, I'm here to do things so you don't have to. I can highly recommend never trying punching yourself with a saw.
Okay. All right. Moving forward.
Oh, good God.
So I know that last week we said we're going to talk about like comic books and Marvel more, and we will.
Comics.
But first, late breaking news from the world of Star Wars.
Late breaking news from the world of Star Wars, reporting live from the studio. Danny.
And I just forgot the guy's name. Who's directing The Last Jedi?
I don't know.
Director Last Jedi. Okay. Director Last Jedi is Ryan Johnson. That's not him.
Ryan Johnson.
Wait.
That's what it says.
Okay. Anyway, not the guy I was hoping it would be. So Disney has announced that they are going to do it is Ryan Johnson. They've said that they're going to do a new Star Wars trilogy.
Huh.
It's going to be not related to the Skywalker saga.
Oh, cool.
No. So there's something to be noted here is that when they said that it wasn't going to be part of the current set of movies, they referred to it as the Skywalker movies. So possible spoiler there. But it's going to be the same.
I wish you hadn't brought that up.
What?
If you hadn't even mentioned possible spoiler there, I would not have made that connection.
Really?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I actively don't think about Star Wars so that I don't ruin these things for myself.
All right. So
Balls.
Sorry.
That's cool. I might be able to forget.
Well, and you never know. It's still all theory.
I might be able to forget.
Okay, so anyway, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be related to the Skywalker saga or the Skywalker films, like these 9, or probably even related to the Star Wars stories that they're doing, like.
Yeah, just an in-universe, new characters, new thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be on like some ass end of the universe.
Huh.
So.
I can see the appeal there, because you're really, at that point, you're not real constrained with what you can do with the story, and you get to use all the cool in-universe technology.
Yeah, at that point, what's important is that you get the aesthetic.
The aesthetic, the feel, the in-universe technology,
Right.
This appeals to me.
It does. It appeals to me as well. Now, here's my thought, though. If they're doing this as a hope of like, hey, this would be a great way to make a horror film in the Star Wars universe, then I want to kill them in the face.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Like they still need to feel like Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they can do that. Well, I think this is sort of very much like the cinematic equivalent of a lot of the Star Wars video games. Like, look at
Kyle Katarn,
Kyle Katarn, it's like there's a few references and maybe you get to meet a main character, but for the most part, it takes place entirely separate from the main Star Wars saga.
So now I want Kyle Katarn.
Oh, that'd make a great series of movies, Jedi Knight Outcast, Jedi Knight Academy. That tied more to the original series, though, but yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. And if you ever, I don't know if you did, but I read a lot of the, extended universe novels as a kid. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those were, part of the main saga, like extensions and had the main characters, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
like
be
you
at
could literally pick up all those characters, dump them in that situation, and drop them out of it and put in new names, and you'd have an in Star Wars universe totally different story, new story. So
yeah, and
that plays for me. That really does.
And then there's that actually makes me hopeful. Like, because I love me some Star Wars.
And other part of the extended universe was the extreme prequels that would have come that are based like 1,000 years before.
Oh, like lightsabers with battery packs on your hip?
Not so much, but like there's some really, really old, like the old histories of the Jedi, like before in any of the Skywalker sagas, So, like 1,000 years before Star Wars Episode 1, there were stories in the extended universe written covering a bunch of this history.
So,
like the Mandalorian Wars and stuff like that.
So I will say this though, Rian Johnson is the guy who's going to be directing them. They've hired him on to do all 3 films.
Wow, that's
they've signed papers.
They must really like his work.
They must really like what he's done with Last Jedi, and honestly, I'm hopeful until I see Last Jedi, and then I may have to reevaluate.
Yeah, I don't want to recant. Rian Johnson, don't let me down.
Right, I don't want to recant either. Rian Johnson, you better have done a really spectacular job with The Last Jedi, because now you're hyped as F.
Yeah, it's you were here, and now you can't see me, but I'm way up here, top of the shelf. You can't, if you mess this up, everyone on the internet will be mad at you, and you just can't have that now. It's just not a thing.
But we'll also see, we'll get a feeling of what type of aesthetic he's going to be using. What type of... Because, I don't know, what has this guy done? Has he...
I don't know.
Rian with an I Johnson movies. He did Looper.
See, now Looper is well received.
Looper was well received. It was okay. The Brothers Bloom. I actually like that movie. Ooh, he did Brick. Oh man, Brick is one of the best modern noir films I've ever seen.
Haven't seen that actually.
Oh man, I highly recommend. Okay, I'm super hyped now.
Rian Johnson.
I'm super hyped.
Looper, Brick, The Brothers Bloom. Obviously,
Evil
Star Wars: The
Demon,
Last
Golf Ball
Jedi.
from blah blah blah.
Terriers. That was a great show, actually. He directed the original episode of that. That's cool.
So,
I don't know if you ever saw that, but
no. But I highly recommend you see Brick.
and he directed 3 episodes of Breaking Bad. 3 of, if I recognize these names, 3 of the 3 good episodes, actually. Or 2 good ones and 1 weird one. So.
Well, I couldn't watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it takes a type of person to watch that type of show. So.
But anyway, okay, I have hope. Man, if he could do, and now this is just me nerding out over the potential of what he can do, but his take on noir with Brick is just phenomenal. And I could totally see a Star Wars noir.
Huh.
Kind of like you can set it up however you want. You get the Star Wars type of roguish investigator person. Yeah, do it.
It's got potential. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we are only a few short weeks away.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to see it right away. There's potential to go see it. I need to tell the person if I want to go see it with them or not. They were going to give me what seats they got, but it requires me driving an hour. So I might have to sleep on their couch.
Go. You have to.
All right.
I refuse to wait a month before reviewing it this time. It
okay.
Hurts. It's only an hour.
I'm going to text them right after this. I'm going to be like, all right, Maya, I'm down.
All right, Maya.
I am down. So, yeah.
So color me fairly excited for this idea.
I'm actually more excited about this now than I am for the Solo movie.
Yeah, I have so much trepidation about the Han Solo movie. We've been over this before, so
but I mean, it's true. They ditched the comedic directors and they brought in, a director that I respect, Opie from the Andy Griffith Show, Ron Howard. Right? It was Ron Howard they brought in, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just making that up. Yeah. And I like Ron Howard. I like a lot of his films. But that being said, I don't know. Solo is going to be weird.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's.
I have a weird relationship with that because I was a huge fan of the Han Solo trilogy books when I was a kid. So, like, I have this whole history of Han Solo in my head that I know practically by heart, and so it's going to be so weird to
and also
come at that again from a whole new, probably a whole new perspective.
And also, there's like this whole other perspective that. Like with Rogue One, I was so excited for Rogue One because that's like a part of the story that everyone was like, yeah, I want to see this stuff, right? With the exception of there being no Bothans dying.
Well, that's the second the Death Star. Many Bothans.
Was that the second?
Yeah. Mon Mothma says many Bothans died to bring us this information for the second Death Star.
I thought that was the first one.
I remember.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Anyways.
Oh man, now you think. But anyway, I was more excited for that than I am for Solo.
I can repeat myself infinitely because it's like I'm excited, but don't mess it up. Don't disappoint me.
And have they said they're gonna do any other Star Wars movies
for
a Star Wars story?
I think they said they would.
Do we have any idea what that is?
I don't. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to have happened between episode 2 and episode 3. Well, not 2 and 3. Between episode 5 and 6. There's a whole thing that happens in there that's like in some of the old scripts and stuff. Like, so there's a bunch of things they could play with there. There's a bunch of
because I really don't mind the filling in the main Star Wars verse.
Yeah. There's a bunch of things that happen in between a bunch of the Star Wars movies that you could really find a way to make a movie out of and it be good. So.
All right.
There is talk. Let me think here. Obi-Wan movie.
Oh yeah.
Ewan McGregor apparently has agreed, or is in talks to agree to being in an Obi-Wan spin-off movie, which I think would be good.
I think it would be good as well. Like, what did this dude do?
In between,
like, I mean, I know that he was practicing his lying skills.
Yeah.
Like, everyone forgets that one line where he's like talking to R2-D2 on the Millennium Falcon, and he's like, "Yes, old friend." It's like this guy's just like waited his entire life to lie to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and I have a lot of hope for that.
Yeah. So yeah, I want that. I want to see that. So yeah, that would be a good Star Wars story. And I have less trepidation about that than a Han Solo film.
Yeah, because there's no one's done it yet. You know, like I said, because Han Solo is Han Solo, and I'd have to read them again, but it's a very thorough history was written for him by someone. So a large number of fans have that, and so that really it makes it hard. Whereas with Obi-Wan, as far as I know, there wasn't really much done, so it's the stage is more open.
Yep.
I feel like to a certain extent there was a lot of hesitation to touch some of those characters in the extended universe, and so it didn't get done. Whereas Han Solo, I don't know how they agreed to let those books get written, but I found them enjoyable.
So, anything else about Star Wars you'd like to talk about?
That covers it right now. Other than it's coming. We're excited. Good Lord.
It's coming. I'm excited. Good Lord. So yeah, that's good. I was gonna talk more about the Marvel universe and whatnot, but Justice League is coming out in 3 days.
Justice League is coming out in 3 days.
And so I just want to reiterate how I'm not excited for it.
I just I'm so prepared to be disappointed by that movie.
Yeah, I am as well. I just don't know how that movie's even gonna work. I just also, have you seen the newest promo posters they've put out for it?
I haven't
looks
seen.
like a douche.
Who does?
The Flash.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, it's just like they've taken shots of them from like different parts of the movie, and they've kind of like pasted them together. And so like Batman has his chin down and he's looking angry. Wonder Woman is looking off and seems perplexed. And then you have the Flash with his chin up, and it's you should find the photo because everything about it. And then I watched, they released another teaser the other day.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and so it's like, honestly, how bad is this film that you have to tease it up that much? I mean, we just got our second trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi, and we're not getting anything else.
Yeah, it's just it goes on and on.
So I don't know. I do think that the DC cinematic universe, the DCCU,
this is just a giant hairy mess.
Yeah, and now they're talking about the Joker origin film. Have we talked about that?
With a different person playing the Joker. I don't know why.
And not in this continuity.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, they've been fighting tooth and nail to make a cinematic universe, and now they're just going to piss on all that work.
And they're also talking about doing like a Ladies of Gotham film, like team up with Batgirl and Harley Quinn, using the same actress they used for Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad, but also not being part of the same.
That makes even less sense, you know?
I know.
If you're going to use the same actress, to have it be part of continuity.
It's like, I'd expect this if you're like in the weird situation Marvel's in, where like Sony and Fox like has your left and right testicle, but
yeah.
But they own all their shit.
Does that make the primary Marvel Cinematic Universe Marvel's dingus?
Well, you know, they've definitely inflated it up enough.
So it's the dingus, and then the left testicle is X-Men, and the right testicle is Spider-Man?
Yeah, pretty much. And they've just kind of gotten Spider-Man back, but not all. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is
such
what
a weird metaphor.
About Marvel. Like leaving the DCCU and its sadness behind. Because of the success of Spider-Man,
the raging success,
like, it was good, it got great reviews, it made a lot of money, it's better than any Spider-Man movie that Sony has produced since the first Spider-Man.
And so now Sony doesn't want to let go because suddenly it's a cash cow?
No, they're still allowing Marvel to use Spider-Man, and that being part of the MCEU spiel, but they also have, Sony has all the rights to the Spider-Man villains.
Oh,
minus
shit.
Kingpin. So they're gonna do villain movies with the Spider-Man villains.
Huh.
Like solo villain movies.
That's gonna go over like a lead balloon covered in fat people wearing weights.
Well, look it up. Look up like, what's the guy, the beast guy with the mane? Spider-Man villain.
The only Spider-Man villains I can remember.
Craven. Kraven the Hunter.
I don't know that one very well.
Kraven the Hunter movie. Yeah, look it up. Like, do the thing, and you're gonna see. The guy looks like a Viking.
Oh, well, maybe I'll watch it just for the Viking. You know me and Vikings.
But yeah, they're just like, I don't know what they're doing. But
they don't know what they're doing.
They're like, oh, look. Marvel has helped make us viable for superhero movies. Let's
shit in our own Cheerios.
So let's make a Kraven the Hunter movie. Let's make a Venom movie. Let's do all.
Now the Venom movie, I'm actually looking forward to. I've always loved Venom. He's probably my favorite villain.
Yeah, but it's Sony.
Yeah, they do have Tom Hardy.
They don't wear pants.
Oh yeah, it is Sony. They don't wear pants.
So anyway, I think, yeah. Oh, Mysterio. Mysterio is another one.
I've always hated Mysterio as a villain.
Oh, they're gonna try and do it again.
I always felt like Mysterio was someone was like, let's take Doctor Strange, except make him a villain.
Well, that's exactly what they did. It's the eternal conflict between the Marvel and DC ripping off characters.
Yeah, except Doctor Strange is a Marvel character.
Was he the original?
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mysterio always seemed like a fishbowl with too many powers. It's like he didn't make sense in the Spider-Man continuity to me. It's like everybody else that Spider-Man fought seemed reasonable, right? But then there's Mysterio. It's like, yeah, how's the guy with spider power supposed to beat that?
It's a good question.
Yeah, you can see my problem. It just didn't make sense. And as ridiculous as comics are, to a certain extent, you do need things to make sense. You know?
You are absolutely...
There's a fine line between a good comic and an acid trip.
There's a fine line.
I don't know. Anyways.
But yeah, that's what I got there.
A whole string of DC or Marvel villains movies. Wouldn't that be better as a show? I could see that as like a Netflix show.
Yeah, that would be fine.
But don't see that as a series of movies.
Especially like honestly, DC is missing an opportunity here because Disney's taking off all their properties from Netflix, minus the Defenders because
Marvel is. You said DC. Anyway,
I'm sorry, Marvel. And so this is like, but after the current Defenders run, like Disney's talking about like doing everything on their own streaming service.
That's gonna be a mistake, I think.
I'm
not buying it. As much as I love their stuff, I'm not buying another streaming service.
And they're saying it's going to be significantly cheaper than Netflix, but I'm like, I don't care.
Unless it's $2. If it's more than $2, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be $2. It's going to be like $10. I think.
Well, how much is Netflix now?
15.
12? Jesus.
They're raising it up. They're raising it up to everyone to $15. But
what you get from Netflix, I say, is easily worth $15 still.
Yeah,
I hesitate. If it goes to ever goes to 20, I will seriously consider dropping Netflix.
I'm seriously considering dropping Hulu.
The problem I have is that half the things I want to watch are on one and half are on the other. Still,
yeah, I understand that, but
yeah.
I
intermittently consider dropping one or the other, and then something I really want to watch comes out on one or the other. On the one I'm considering dropping, it's like, I guess I'll keep going because I need to watch this show.
But yeah, I don't know. See, but as I was saying,
there seems to be less and less on Hulu that I want, but
Yeah, well, they're also pimping themselves out to cable companies now.
Yeah. So that you can buy
it's on HBO for $5 a month.
It's like $10 actually.
$10 a month. But that's exactly my point. That's what Hulu's turning into.
Hulu is trying, I think, very hard to become what people have asked for years, to be the ability to buy 5 cable channels.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're all $15, $10 a month.
Yeah, and so by the time you get those 5, you're paying as much as you would have paid for 2,000 cable channels, at which point you just buy cable.
Right, because you're not getting
occasionally all you want to do is sit there and watch CBS channel.
Right, because you're not getting the discount of getting your cable and your internet at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think what DC should do is that they should go to Netflix and they should go to these creators that are making these Marvel things on Netflix, the Defenders, and going, hey, why don't you guys stay with Netflix and make our movies, make our shows on Netflix?
What would really be good, I think, though, this whole Sony making these villains movies, it would have made a great show, like a Netflix show, and you do like 2 seasons of, of a Marvel's villain show, and then tie it together and have like the Marvel villains versus Defenders show, and do a season or 2 of that, and that wraps the whole thing up.
Yeah,
that would have been a beautiful, elegant way to do it. Doing a bunch of one-off villains movies, with the exception of the Venom movie, which I'm excited for. I just don't see it working very well.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope to be wrong, but it's Sony, so I'm probably not wrong.
Well, with that being said, Jake.
Yeah. That being said.
How jaded are you today?
Right now?
That you have punched a saw blade.
Well, myself with the saw blade is different. But like a 5, because my thumb hurts.
I'm at a 5 as well. I'm having a rough week.
We stand upon the fulcrum.
For like 9 hours.
What, 9 hours?
We lost power for 9 hours yesterday.
That was annoying.
And it's in the evening, and we're in a corner unit, so it just turned into cold.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means. Epic blanket snuggle time.
Yeah, we had like 5 blankets. We were each wearing hoodies. And so we were each wearing hoodies under 5 blankets. We set the heaters so if the power came back on, they'd turn on and warm up the house for the morning.
Uh-huh.
And so the power came back on at like 1 a.m.
And filled your house with lights and sounds?
Well, no, because we had the lights turned off. We were smart. But at like 1:30, though, I wake up and I'm just sweating. Like, I'm like flinging blankets off of me, and then I'm like ripping off the hoodie, and I'm just laying there panting,
going, good God, what has happened?
And Krista wakes up and she's like, oh, the power came back on, it's so warm, and starts to nestle further into the blankets.
Well, everyone's built a little differently.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's where I'm in the jaded zone.
I don't like electric heat. For that very reason.
So you have a quote? You get to go first this week.
I picked a quote. It's from Calvin and Hobbes. So, Bill Watterson. Calvin and Hobbes. Calvin says, happiness isn't good enough for me. I demand euphoria.
Happiness isn't good enough for me. I demand euphoria. I have a quote from Walt Disney. Or Walter Elias Disney.
Mr. Disney.
Mr. Disney. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Yeah.
Well, I came into another one just as you were reading me that. It's very good, but I like this one. It's from Art Spiegelman. Sorry. He said, comics are a gateway drug to literacy.
I like it.
I think that's a good one.
I think that's a good one. I think that's why when Neil Gaiman won his writer Pulitzer, I think when he won his Pulitzer, they are like, yes, it's for a graphic novel, but it's literature.
That's comics.
They're
a lot of fun. So anyways, If for some reason you liked what you heard here today, feel free to subscribe to us on Twitter and to be updated when new podcasts are posted. And remember to subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, and anywhere else fine podcasts are purveyed.
You can also find us on Twitter at Proteus Podcast or email us at proteuspodcast@gmail.com.
As always, I've been Jacob.
And I'm still Danielle.
And we have been the Proteus Podcast. Good night, everyone.